Hi guys, my name is Tyler Leung, and today I'm going to go over some of the best tips that I've received while playing pickleball and how to increase your game and your success rate. The first one that I'm going to go over is giving yourself margin. Now, what I mean when I say margin is even at the highest level, and even more so at the lower levels, you got to give yourself margin. And what I mean when I say that is I see all too often players, they try to aim for the line when they're hitting passing shots or try and get the ball past the person, where in reality a ball that lands 1 to 2 feet inside the line is going to do the trick. We spend too much time trying to hit the lines perfectly, where in reality all we need to do is get the ball over the net. I play at the professional level, and even at the professional level I have to remind myself to give myself margin. I don't have to hit the lines, and even more so at the lower level. So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level player, you always got to remember to give yourself margins. And the second tip that I have for you to get better is getting to the net. All too often I see a lot of players, they kind of sit back here at the back line, or they're kind of in this transition zone where they don't really go forward or backward. Now, when you're up at the net, it's a lot easier to win points because you're closer to the net. There's less likelihood of you missing the ball because you're so much closer to the net, and you can really start to dictate the point when you're up at the net. And so the second thing that I would suggest to everyone is getting to the net as quick as you can. The third thing that I would suggest for everyone to get better is observing your opponent. All too often we go out there and we play pickleball and we're having fun, which is a very fun sport, and we kind of just go through the motions, or we're just kind of focusing on one thing, when in reality a lot of the top players, what they do is they focus on their opponent. They figure out what their opponent is doing that is going well, and then also what their opponent is doing that's not going well for them, finding out their weaknesses. Once you identify an opponent's weakness, and then that's when you got to execute on your game plan. For most players, not everyone, but for most players, their backhand dink might be a little bit worse than their forehand. And so if you know that going into a match, or you see that in warm-up, you might want to isolate the player's backhand or the forehand. Or if one of the players is stronger than his teammate, you might want to focus on that person over the other partner. And then the last thing I'd like to mention is always remember to have fun. We always get into the games where we are so stressed, we feel a lot of pressure, and sometimes pressure is good, but sometimes it's not. I know a lot of people, when they start feeling pressure, they start missing so many more shots, and it just doesn't go well for them. So remember why you're playing pickleball. Is it to have fun? Is it to exercise? Is it to compete and get better? But in the end, it's a game, and we need to have fun and keep making those friendships that come through pickleball.